Hi everyone, a very happy Thursday. I am live, and if anybody can join me live, great, awesome. If not, that's totally okay. All right, so I wanted to talk about summer ready, summer body, which I don't like the sound of that. I think it'd be nice to say summer ready because school is going to be out, even colleges will be out, and you might be taking a vacation with family. If there's a beach involved, you're like, well, I'd like to get in shape for that. And so I thought I would share some practical tips on how you can get summer ready. Now, we want to be realistic. We want to be mature about this because we are not 20. We are in our mid 40s, around the corner from 50s. And if you are in your 30s, then listen up. This is some good advice I'm about to give you. All right. So I thought we just add some numbers to the mix. So today is April 24th, and say you wanted to lose some weight by May 31st. You could quite realistically aim for 5 to 7 pounds of weight loss, depending on your starting point and depending on your consistency. So say you have like 30-40 pounds to lose, and you get very consistent, you may end up losing more than 5 to 7 pounds. But this is between now and May 31st, we're looking at 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, a realistic fat loss, weight loss is 5 to 7 pounds, given that you do things without any extreme dieting or crazy workouts or cutting out any and all carbs, right? So what are some of the things that you can kickstart starting today, right? So number one is pay attention to your meal timing, because the more regular you are with your meals, the better your body will respond to the changes, okay? So if you are someone who's skipping meals, avoid doing that. Set a schedule on when you're going to eat your meals and stay as close as possible to that, okay? So that's your circadian rhythm of eating. Number two is do an early dinner. Now this stuff I don't share anywhere else. In fact, I did share a reel today with very general value, but here you get more value. So write this down if you want to. Early dinner time between 3 and 4 hours before bedtime is great because you give your body a chance to digest. And post dinner, I would like for you to think about going for I would like you to try and get a walk in about 10 minutes after meal. So that helps regulate the blood sugar levels, helps a little bit of energy output there, okay? That's number two. Number three, there are some ways where you can actually burn 200 to 300 calories a day without making too much effort. So some of those are taking walks with a weighted vest. Number one. Number two, you could consider some gardening. The weather is nice, so squatting down, doing some gardening will also get that energy output going. Number three, while you're cooking, you could do some calf raises, push-ups on the countertop. That's another way to accumulate some calories to be burned, okay? And then number four is walking after your meal instead of sitting down. And then number five is basically watching your calorie intake in terms of, like, if you're stress eating, and instead of stress eating you just decide to go do some physical stuff, you'll end up accumulating 200 to 300 calories of energy output. You'll burn that. That's nice, right? That's a good feeling to do that. So you want to, those are top three for now. There's let me just summarize what I've talked about right now. Is number one is your circadian rhythm of eating, okay? Number two is eating some early dinners. Number three is doing these low-key, low-impact activities to sneakily burn 200 to 300 calories, okay? And then number four is try to eat nutritious meals and make them not feasts, but eat solid meals instead of just grazing all day long and then saying, I'm not hungry. And then what happens is you don't realize that you're binging and maybe eating far too many calories. This is especially true of those ladies who try to do intermittent fasting without truly having a proper plan and knowing what they're doing. I'm not a big fan of intermittent fasting. In fact, I do a very conservative 14-hour fast for my clients if they want to do it. But every meal, try to do a breakfast and lunch and dinner. And in between, if you really have to snack, but otherwise don't. Just try and stick to the 3 meals a day, and you'll notice that you do better with just sitting down and eating a meal and then be like, all right, I'm done, I'm gonna get on with my day. What happens is, I've noticed, is sometimes women tend to fall into this mindset that I'll eat a light lunch, and then they hork on the snacks, and then dinner rolls around, they're like, well, I did all the snacking, so I shouldn't eat dinner. So it's almost like they're punishing themselves that I shouldn't eat dinner. And then it's just a vicious cycle, like it never ends, right? So break that cycle, sit down and eat a good breakfast, eat a good lunch, and then eat a good dinner. And every one of those build around protein and fiber. You followed me long enough, you've attended trainings by me, you've attended those 5-day challenges. You know I'm a big fan of prioritizing the protein and fiber so that it works like your satiety hero, keeps you full for longer, and you make much better decisions, okay? And then finally, I would say do some strength training, because anytime you do strength training, especially the compound movements, they do get the heart rate up a little bit. And when you do the lower extremities with training the lower extremities, which is your glutes, hamstrings, legs, you do fire up the calorie burning centers of your body. So that's always a good way to get in shape as well, okay? So 5 to 7 pounds in about 5 weeks is very, very realistic, very, very doable. And like I said, you may even end up losing more, really depends on your starting point. But yeah, I would, if you were to ask me, like, can I do this? Will I see the weight loss? Yes. Of course, you have to be consistent. Like, nothing happens if you're not consistent. Nothing happens if you're consistent for a week, and then the next week you're not consistent at all, and then the 3rd week you just give it up, and then you try to get back on it. Then obviously that's not going to work. 5 weeks of just consistently doing these things will definitely make a big difference. All right. And if you're ever like, listen, I need the support, I don't want to do this by myself, give me some proper support and a little bit of hand holding, then I'm always up for a chat to see if we're a good fit, and then we can take it from there. Okay. Other than that, yeah, that's all from me. I'm trying to head out the door, but it's raining again, and I don't want to go out in that rain. But have a good day. And if you have any questions, ladies, feel free to, post it under this video. And yeah, so good luck. And if you have any summer plans, let me know. All right. If you did watch the video, please be sure to hit the like or just say hi in the comments. It helps the algorithm. It helps the Facebook push this group forward. And if you like what I post, if you feel like I'm no BS, I'm keep it real, then help me grow this group as best as you can. Invite friends if you would like. But other than that, yeah, if you got value out of it, please be sure to let me know. All right, bye.